All right, as we pick up on the Navajo from the previous game, a little quick recap for our viewers, whether you're watching it on Twitch or on later on YouTube. The crew is currently suffering from what appears to be a temporal time loop. While not all the crew is aware of it, some of the crew are. And we are going to start today's session back on the bridge of the Navajo. As the captain, you just got done going through the temple, or well, the repeat conversation with Dr. Baxter.
Wait a minute, clarification. By repeat conversation, you mean her stepping on the bridge and asking to talk to me?
We'll just say she just came out of the ready room. Again, you had that same conversation over, unless you wish to have that conversation over again and inform her of the time loop, or are you wishing to repeat?
Yeah, I would have said something to her
Okay,
about having done this all before.
then we'll go back to the. Or that is not the right. There we go.
Hey, my red room looks like a bar.
Upgrade.
I am liking this ship already.
Yeah, not too bad.
um, as she's like, Captain, just want to make you aware that Alunia has yet to step out of the holodeck, and I am concerned about her well-being. She seems to be reclusive, and well, I've seen several reports of walls manifesting to block people from entering the holodeck to ask her to leave. I am concerned about her mental well being, and she has not been wanting to converse with me or some of the other crew. Given your rapport with her, I was hoping you or maybe someone in the senior staff could talk to her.
Out of character, because I can't see the NPC's character sheet. What rank is she?
Oh, she's just a lieutenant.
Lieutenant Baxter. Are you experience any deja vu in this moment?
I mean, deja vu is a construct when the mental mind is essentially catching up to what it perceives, giving a sense of euphoria of seeing it before. Reality is just an illusion.
I'll take that as a no then. We've had this conversation already.
I beg your pardon, Captain.
Well, this is my second time having this conversation with you. I appreciate you coming and talking to me. I will look into it. Um, in the meantime, would you informally poll the crew and see if anyone else is experiencing the next, let's say anyone reporting having already experienced, say, the next 4 or 5 hours?
I will keep you informed. I will put up the query to the medical department.
Thank you, Lieutenant. That'll be all.
Yes, sir. And thank you, sir. As she rather confused and walks out the door.
Yeah, now she feels like the rest of us prone to go back to the bridge. We'll just share the joy.
Anything else?
Oh no, Prome's headed back to the bridge.
Oh, okay.
Is Commander Cabal on the bridge now?
Yes.
Interesting. So, Commander Cabal, where have you been for the last couple hours?
Where have I been for the last couple hours, GM? What duty shift is it?
It's Alpha. I would just say you're working with getting things, transferred over for your new chief of security officer, who's present on the bridge. Make sure that's all kind of in line. Plus the other EXO duties.
Yeah, duty rosters and shift assignments and all that BS. All right, cool. I've been in my office, Captain, just duty rosters, reallocating command codes for the new chief of security. All relatively standard daily operations. What can I do for you?
Anything unusual happened to you recently?
Not out of the ordinary. No. The only strange thing, not really strange, but Dr. Whitman found me again to pressure you for that physical, but that's relatively standard, all things considered.
Of course, reminder that I'll get to that the next time we're on Earth. Lieutenant Commander Rye, Lieutenant Vogel, Lieutenant Azanon. Anything unusual just happened to the three of you?
Can I run a scan real quick for shipwide for unusual energy beams, chronotons, anything beyond the standard?
We remember what happened, right?
Yes.
I'm
you guys
remembering that
remember.
correctly. Vogel is going to be pulling up all information she can on the Q and the Q continuum. And Vogel is just going to turn to the captain and say, Captain, do you think this could in any way be related to our Q friend?
That is a very good hypothesis. And if things hold true to form, they should be back on board soon. Again. Sort of.
Linnea herself is not without power. She has been recuperating. Who knows how much she's gotten back?
Those would be our two leading suspects. But Commander Cravalda appears. Actually, then he'll start before he press Commander Lieutenant. Is our security chief here?
Yeah, I'm here.
People one. Okay. How about you, Lieutenant Azan? Anything unusual happened to you?
Well, if you mean that the conversation you just had with the counselor a little I'm going to have to say time loop?
Appears that way, but we're not the only. But the Lieutenant Baxter and Commander Craval here seem to have no memory of it.
I'm sorry. Was there? Are you all talking about some sort of time loop? Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yeah, roughly the last 6 hours just for apparently certain members of the crew reset.
Kind of
Exciting.
strange that the entire ship didn't experience it though.
Well, they all experienced it, but not all of us seem to recall it.
Did
Are
the
you
ship's
sure?
logs reset? Did sensor data, does it all appear to have done the same? Or
Well, this I succeeded, but the ship gave us a complication, so
Well, if we're going to have to do this day again, Lieutenant Eznon, we might as well take advantage of it while we can. Go ahead and start researching just that Mr. Venn that we're going to encounter in Lycian Station, and see if we can do. Oh, look,
I am getting a faint trace of chronoton particles. But it seems like we're going to get a different explanation anyway, so
That's me. I'm sorry about that. I occasionally leak them. I've consulted a physician, but it's a quantum condition. Hi, how are you doing?
I'd be better if I wasn't repeating the last 6 hours.
Do you remember your negotiation? You did quite a good job, by the way. Captain, she did an excellent job.
well, thank you. I'll have to remember that for my log. Is this you're doing, Mister
You
Forest?
know, I'm not really behind this one. My presence could have potentially made it easier for another individual to do that, but there was no intent on my side.
So was it our other guest?
Quite possibly. Or potentially field interaction, spooky entanglement at a distance.
I mean, if you were leaking chronotons, Mr. Cuvaris, I think you might be the most likely suspect.
Well, let's move on from that. How's that? But I'm not here with any ill intent. Um, for those of you who have memory, I'm here to convince Alunia to join the Q Continuum. I'm on a recruiting mission.
And what you know, now you've got an extra 6 hours to try.
I would have preferred to just roll forward where we were at because I felt like you were actually making excellent progress and had presented some very strong arguments to her. But she is a complex being with, as a couple of you have pointed out, issues in regarding to her both past and present. And it's become a permanent residence of one of your holodecks.
I like to think of her as a long-term guest, rather.
yeah, permanent is a very strong word. I would agree.
I think the old Earth word is squatter.
Nicer word than I would have used.
Fair enough. However, though, I'm interested in her deciding that it's the best move. Problem. She was in conflict with the Q continuum. Therefore, there's a lot of negative feelings there. But whatever the Q's continuum's rap sheet is, and obviously that's not always great. Um, you know, just like any other society. However, though, she's got a rap sheet a mile long. So, but when you're dealing with nonlinear beings, you've got to change how you negotiate things and where they can end up.
Sure. What kind of things are on this rap sheet of hers?
You want me to go through it so you know what you're dealing with?
You can give me the executive summary if it's as long as you say it is.
Okay. Crimes against reality. She once entrapped an entire species in a pocket dimension for centuries to teach them patient. Exact fact, provable. She created a reality bubble where the laws of physics were reversed for her own amusement. Resulting in the loss of countless ships from many civilizations. Um, I believe she created a dimension made entirely of sentient pastries who now seek vengeance against their bakers. I can't prove that one, but I believe it to be true. She's also been charged in the past with unlicensed creation of artificial life. She created entire synthetic beings, many of whom were abandoned or left to fend for themselves. Let's see, crimes against individual beings. She once turned a mortal's lifespan into a time loop, forcing them to relive their most painful memories for decades. She erased the memories of a planetary council, creating chaos just to see how they would rebuild. Let's see, she's masqueraded as a deity before. She's engaged in reality bending hoaxes. Let's see, crimes of mass destructions, annihilation of an entire star system. During the war with the Q, she vaporized an entire nebula, multiple inhabited systems as a strategic maneuver. Um, that is factual. I believe she might have accidentally erased an entire sector while practicing her handwriting with the stars, but I can't prove that one.
With all of these crimes, what is it that you're seeking to gain from recruiting her?
Well, if she joins the Q continuum, there's at least a structure of a societal and justice system that seeks to rein in the activities of nonlinear beings, right? Because it trickles down, unfortunately. Thank God you're not first dimensional. That's the bottom of the oh, what did you call those before you had toilets? Those pans, bed pans. Yes, first dimensional creatures, man, they're at the bottom, no control whatsoever.
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
she claims that the Q wiped out most of her people. Any of that true?
There was a vicious war, and most of her people, as far as I know, all of them except for her were lost, and she was imprisoned. Probably the Q responsible for that forgot about it. Downside of nonlinear thinking, right?
How do omniscient beings forget about things?
Well, that's a really good question, right? Some of it just probably boils down to don't give a crap, right? Problem solved, moved on to your next interdimensional fantasy.
Right.
I will give them this in their defense. If you know everything, the important things are going to stick out first.
Yes, you'd think so, but we all know all societies have engaged in these kinds of things, and there are very few beings in this universe who don't have a history of bloodshed in their societal histories, right? I'm a bit of a xenoanthropologist and xenosociologist, so you're all educated. Starfleet education is excellent.
All right. Well, that's all well and good. Captain, we should try to send messages to all crew members, see if anyone, which of the crew remembers the time loop and which of them do not. I can try to cross-reference the data to see if any of those that do were all exposed to an individual, or those that were not had not encountered anything. See if there's some sort of pattern to why some are and some are not.
Reasonable. That's what I sent Lieutenant Baxter to do.
We should go ahead and send somebody to check on our guest as well.
Well, I think Lieutenant Vogel, since you have a bit more experience than the rest of us in this area, ready to return to being a all-power omniscient beings BFF.
Vogel would just kind of drop her head into her hands, however briefly, then perk up and say, "Of course, Captain."
I think we should designate the term non-linear diplomat.
Ooh, we should get that on a mug for you.
That's actually a really cool name. Yeah, I would agree.
This is what I do. Mostly work comedy, the comedy circuit.
Right. Curious. And rather than locking her up, why didn't you just strip her of her powers? I mean, according to Jean-Luc's logs, the Q have done that to each other before.
Yes, but there are specific circumstances and requirements for that. At the time of the war, it's my belief that that was not a viable option at the time. It could have been due to the weakened state. When the Q war, it's not pretty. Or any other beings like it. And all energy requires a source, right?
Right.
Yeah.
How infinite would your energy seem to a resident of your planet 1,000 years ago? It would seem infinite.
Well, if we consider her release, we consider it maybe a form of parole.
Well,
Maybe now would be the time to strip
there's
her.
no charges being brought here. I am merely a envoy with an offer, and that would bring her in, and then she'd have a say in the Q continuum. Once she becomes a citizen, so to speak, she's got voting rights, just like you do in the Federation. Same idea. Once she becomes a Q citizen, then that may be part of her hesitance because she will be held responsible. Now, of course, I'm sure your Starfleet reports indicate there are Q who radically go around doing things, and sometimes the Q continuum goes, "Hey, you've gone too far." I won't name any names, but there's some Q with a reputation like that. It's not very cute.
No, you are the comedian of your system. I can tell.
Yeah, that's why I got picked for this job.
You should sell t-shirts.
I should. I put you in charge. You know how to sell. So look, I'm not here to imprison her. Otherwise, those actions would have been taken. Does she have a background? Yes, yes, she does. Given that she's a nonlinear being, it's my opinion. Hey, time served. Three, I don't mind bringing fresh blood into the continuum. It forces the continuum to rethink itself, and that's important on larger scales and down here in the third dimension.
Okay, well, if you're not solely responsible for the time loop, and you think that possibility your interaction with our guest, our squatter, as it were,
And hold on, let me answer this for you. I don't know. I did not intentionally unleash it. Again, though, interactive energy fields. You're all scientists. You deal with field technology all the time. She is like a blossoming flower of the queue, right? Her powers are new, nascent, growing. My mere presence might have interacted with it. If so, I apologize. I really don't like
I gotta
creating.
stop you there. So
Oh,
yeah, GM's interjecting here. She's not new. Like she's been an energy being for millions of years.
okay. Then edit. She's been an energy being for millions of years. But isn't she gaining in power, GM? Like she's more powerful than she was before, or was the power level kind of the same? Or do I even know?
You don't know.
Okay.
Well, something to actually, I'm based on Sean Luke's logs. I'm a little amazed or flattered that to meet a member of the continuum that will admit there's something that they don't know. But my point I was going to make was that if it's possible that you're the reason that we're repeating this part of our lives because of an interaction and feel between you and our guest, maybe you should stay. Corona's thinking, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Perhaps you should say, stay up here with us.
I have no problem with that. What I want certainly is, my goal is, as I've stated it, I'm here to give her options and potentially relieve pressure from your situation. So if you want to take another shot at the diplomatic route, I think that she will listen more to you than she will listen to me.
I, based on her, what I've seen of her attitudes at the queue up until this point, twice, I think you're right. Um, Mr. Vogel, ready for take two?
Aye, Captain.
And find out if she knows she's repeating this period of the day.
That was going to be my first question, Captain.
That kind of foresight is why you're the best helmsman in the entire quadrant.
I think it would be prudent that I remain here for security reasons, and also to test if proximity to Alunia or interacting with her is what causes the remembering of the loop. If it happens again and I still don't remember it, then it could at least help narrow down the search a bit.
Good point. Plus, I'd like you to work with our new security chief. We should be hitting the Lysara station fairly soon. There's a Mr. Venn down there that appears to be the only one that we met the first time that may or may not have the materials that we need to engage in trade with. Let's see what we can, since we now know what we're about to face. Yes, I know. Temporal regulations, whatever. Let's see if we can do a better job of finding out who we're going to deal with, Mr. Azanan. Investigate this Mr. Venn and see if we can find maybe more reputable trading partners this time around. We're going to get a chance at a do-over. Let's see if we can improve over the last cycle.
On the upside, now you know not to get the blood wine.
Fair enough.
That's a good point. I was kind of aware what you were doing, Captain, but I kept tabs. Good luck. Hopefully the negotiation goes faster at this point.
Well, it wasn't awful to meet you, sir.
I would also recommend keeping a clock if you all can try to extrapolate based on the time that you went back. I think we should start a timer from that point and see if it happens again, I guess.
I'm also going to see if I can set a chronoton alert that if we start detecting something in our regular scans just to warn us in advance, perhaps.
Might be a good idea too, Lieutenant Rye, to scan the brains of the four of us that remember to see if there are any signs of time travel, any of the normal signs of time travel among us. You can handle that if you feel comfortable with it, or I'll get someone from medical up here.
I feel confident enough. If I can scan you and perhaps the commander, since he doesn't remember, see if there's any major differences besides the obvious.
Excellent idea. All right, everyone, you got your assignments. Let's get to it.
Cool.
Okay. We are going to hop down to main engineering. Where Solok is at. With us, Solok?
Yeah, I'm here. Are we just going through the normal engineering routines?
Yeah. And Erica kind of speaks up. I don't understand this.
What is it that you did not understand?
Okay, so Holodeck 2 is supposed to be an isolated power system, right?
That is correct.
Then why is it drawing power?
Let me see your readings.
And she kind of
Interesting.
slides over.
Interesting. This is not consistent with what we normally use with holodeck suites. I would like an investigation into why this is drawing power. It might have something to do with Aluna. Is she not in that holodeck suite?
Yes, and it's been running for a really long time. Longer than usual.
It would be logical to assume that she is somehow the cause of the anomaly that it is. But let's get some definitive answers. Please investigate this. I will assist you.
Would you like to go into the holodeck with the omnipotent being, or shall I, sir?
I think based upon the level of danger and my familiarity with her, it would be logical for me to go and visit her. We should also be accompanied, or I should be accompanied by someone from security. I will first have to clear it with the captain.
Understood.
Solok to bridge.
Bridge here.
Captain, we are detecting a power drain from the very holodeck that Aluna is using.
Is the frequency of the power drain consistent with that we experienced on the planet we picked her up on?
An interesting question, Captain. I have not investigated that at this time. What I was thinking of doing was going and speaking with Aluna to see if she is indeed the source of this power drain.
Ironically enough, Mr. Vogel is headed down to the holodeck 2 right now. That being, well, that wasn't one of her questions. Her question was related to another issue. Out of curiosity, Commander, you experienced any sense of deja vu this morning?
Deja vu. I am not familiar with any of that with that experience. That would suggest that one is reliving an event that one had already lived prior. That would suggest some sort of time loop.
It would suggest that, yes. Any of the engineering crew express anything like that this morning?
I look around to my crew to see if they respond to any of that. I take it none of them respond to it. And I say, no, Captain. No one has experienced this deja vu that you mentioned.
Interesting. You are more than welcome to join Mr. Vogel in the holodeck, or I can have them ask her about it as well while she's down there talking to her. Um, in the meantime, have someone. Lieutenant Rye is also doing this, but you may have someone monitor the shipwide for chronoton particles. Aid Lieutenant Rye or Commander Rye in doing that.
GM, out of character, since I have to leave early, I guess we'll just have Solak do that, and I can send somebody from engineering to go and talk with Vogel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Well, in
leave
that
it up
case,
to
you
you.
can say
Yeah, we'll do that. Whatever is that won't interfere with things here. So Solak will send Archambault to meet up with Vogel, and Solak will monitor the chronoton radiation for the ship from engineering.
GM, could I have also sent out a shipwide security alert to have all crew report if they had felt deja vu, so we can get a basis of who has felt it and who hasn't, to try to
Yeah, you can.
get a path here. Copy.
As that's happening, Solak tells the captain what he plans to do, and so Captain, I will send Ensign Archambault to the holodeck while I monitor the chronoton radiation from here in engineering.
very well, Commander. Is the energy drain on the ship anything to be worried about at this point, other than the fact that it's happening?
All energy drains that cannot be explained are a concern of some kind. But worry? I do not worry, sir. I only speak on threats and risks, and right now any unexplained energy drain on this ship is a risk.
Let me make a more precise question then, Commander. Is the energy drain currently causing increased risk to the ship's operations?
I do not believe that it is a risk at this point, but it could potentially become a problem, sir.
If it looks like it's going to become a problem, please notify me immediately.
At once, sir. So lockout.
Captain mumbles under his breath once the communication stopped. At once, that's what immediately means.
Solak says, deja vu. An interesting phrase. It would suggest that one feels as if they have experienced the same thing twice. That is interesting. One has either experienced the same thing twice or they haven't. Feelings have nothing to do with it. Very curious.
Yeah, or it's sometimes just a abnormal response that people get when their brains process information too quickly. At least that's what I've been told.
An experience that I am unfamiliar with, of course. To the holodeck, Ensign. On the double.
As she just grudgingly grabs her engineer kit size and proceeds out of engineering.
Oh. Thank you, GM.
Uh, other than your monitoring energy, which just seems to be a constant, value at the moment, it doesn't seem to be impacting any of the ship systems. Is there anything else you'd like to do, real quick?
He's going to monitor very closely from his office what the situation is in that holodeck, what she's experiencing in there, any sort of way that he can monitor the energy usage, and also the scenario or the environment that's being created in there in the holodeck.
The environment in the holodeck is a sunny seaside resort.
He's going to study that. He's going to study her behavior in that holodeck for any pattern or anything that he can eventually gather more information about. He's going to study that and study her almost as if she's a specimen in the lab. And that's all.
All right. I guess we'll go back to the bridge real quick. What? I believe there was a scan.
Yeah, I wanted to scan both the captain and the exo to see if there was any difference in brain pattern, extra reading on chronotons, since the captain remembers and the commander didn't.
Let's go with reason plus medicine, difficulty 3.
I don't have any way to bump this besides giving you threat. So I'm going to give you 2 dice worth of threat.
Okay, so 3 threat.
I don't think any of my focuses are going to work here. So here we go. You have Why? Why me? Why now? I don't understand.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't fail. Well, I failed, but I didn't mess up fail. So there's, yeah.
It's nothing positive, but it's nothing awful. So,
2 19s.
Right, the game yesterday, it was Complication Central.
Oh no.
That was
It was
only
fun for
after
me.
the beginning. Like, we were just rolling in the momentum, and then it became Complication Central.
Yeah.
Oh well. I don't think there's anything we can really do here unless you're hyper determined for this one.
It's real early, and I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, there's
Yeah.
I'm not detecting any physical changes, anything that would read differently between the 2 of you, sir. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a physical change.
I guess that would stand to reason. It would be, if we're going back in time, I don't know how, I'm not a science guy, but I don't know how that would track physically anyways. But, It was a good thought, at least.
Well, when it comes to chronotons, honestly, there's only so much you can do when time travel's involved. It's
Right.
murkiest. It's not the murkiest science, but it's definitely not clear cut.
Jim, have I heard back from who of the crew remembers and who doesn't at all, or no?
You haven't heard anything from the rest of the crew.
Copy. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just send the message out and around wait for everybody to respond, so I can at least get a basis for who remembers and who doesn't, and then we can see why the ones that remember, if there's any patterns, or go from there, I guess.
As the next couple hours pass, the ship comes into range near Lysara Station, and you get a hail.
Before we get there, does Cabal and Zonin have any luck researching Mr. Van?
I guess this will be like a reason plus security difficulty 2. Assisted by the ship's computers plus security. So one would lead, the other one could assist on it.
All right. Reason security, yeah. I've got investigation as a focus, so I can take the lead, I guess. Cool.
To me,
What was the diff?
It's 2.
Copy. I'll give you a threat for a third die.
sorry, I rolled early.
Jesus.
Dang.
I know everything.
Come on, ship complication.
Why do you not want us to succeed? Why?
Oh, you've already succeeded. It's just complications are fun.
Complications are fun.
So yeah, ship computer security.
Somebody have the ship?
Yeah, sorry, just fighting with my baby. I'll be right there.
Copy. Nice. Damn, look at us go. So what? That's 6 momentum we get?
Yeah, that's 6 momentum.
Rad. What is this guy's name that we're looking at? Mr. Venn, right? Venn.
Sorry, the GM has to type something out.
Gotcha.
That makes sense for you guys. You have plenty of momentum to ask any questions.
Okay, so Tarven, 3 wives, and his own moon. Okay. Fascinating. What species is he? What is he?
Valarian?
He is.
Yeah, he is Valarian.
Gotcha. Okay. So land with Isles. He owns a moon. Do you know what the moon is called? Or where it is?
Azonin's gonna look over and just go, "How original."
Owns a moon.
Say it again.
Okay. The moon is called Ventaria? Okay. Owns a moon called Ventaria, and I'm assuming I can... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
To get the location, that's going to be a momentum spend.
Yeah, go for it. And captain's orders. What are we trying to do with this guy?
Basically vetting him, see what we can learn about him.
Okay.
He was the the last time through this day, he was the only one that seemed to be able to supply us with the things we needed. And so, forewarned with knowledge of that, we want to see what we can learn about him ahead of time.
And
Also,
so we're
like to find out if there are any other reputable dealers we can deal with on that station.
gotcha. So we're just trying to get supplies, less information from this guy on the station.
Yeah, we're trying to. What the captain wants you to do is find out what you can about him, in case we have to negotiate it with him again.
Yeah. Copy. I'm learning about his moon and the business that he might do upon said moon. Okay. We don't have any information on what type of business he does. What type of businessman is he?
He's a trader. You gotta think
Yeah.
like Dutch Indian trader. He's a trader. Like a
Gotcha.
merchant. So he
Right, traveling kind of merchant.
yeah.
Gotcha. Now, is he chartered or is he independent?
He's independent. Like the Valarians themselves, like most of this is kind of what the Valarians do. They're all traders to a certain degree, at least the majority of them, or they work for a family of traders. So they try to strike it big, to kind of like escalate themselves in their society, type deal.
Gotcha. It's all
While he was
about
absorbing that,
status.
did Commander Rye discover anything with her scan?
She was unsuccessful of the scans between you and I to see if there's any sort of physical difference between the two of us. All right, and then I guess last question about this Ven dude. He doesn't have any problems in the Starfleet database, right? No red marks anywhere.
No red marks anywhere.
Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah. Definitely know about the guy a bit better. Might be able to, leverage the splendor of doing positive trades with a Federation ship to get him a good reputation and positive contacts within the sector of space. Might be able to use that to glean positive trades or information. Beyond that, there's not much that we can use if we wanted to strong arm into anything. So, we got something at least.
Well, what do we know about him?
He's a Valerian independent trader, has 3 wives, owns a moon called Ventaria. It's in the Lysara System, about 4 light years away from Lysara's space system. Standard Valerian stuff. Independent trader, works for himself, all about getting better contacts, elevating himself with his own sphere of influence. Appears to have positive reputation with Valerian circles and social groups and whatnot. Other than that, most of there's no extreme public records of any of his business dealings. They appear to be rather private in his transactions, at least, which isn't outside of the norm for something like this. But
Anything in the security files about connections to organized crime or other types of corruption?
it appears to have a clean bill of health with Starfleet security reports. There's nothing that shows him as a open criminal. So either he's very good at hiding it, or there's much that is there for us to catch.
Well, I seem to imply when I spoke to him the first time I did this day that he could get materials for us at cheaper cost if I didn't mind how he acquired them. I do mind how he acquires them, and so the price he's going to ask is high.
What specific materials were you trying to acquire from him?
The captain will hand the commander that data pad with a list on it. For the player, you scroll up, the big list is in the chat.
Copy.
Let's see here. I'll copy and paste it. So we
Heard.
There you go.
Gotcha. Can we look into just the records on Lysara Station and see if there's any other potentially more reputable traders on the station that we can use to acquire the stuff? If this guy's prices are redonkulous.
I will give this to you. It's a free trade port, so anything kind of goes.
Sure. So so that implies there's other people that we could acquire these things from.
Right. It's just that you may or may not. Starfleet doesn't keep a database on that, so that's not something you're gonna be able to look up on the ship.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Yeah.
All right. Well, Commander Cavall, this time around, the last time I went through this day, I didn't know I was going to have a member of the Q continuum on board my ship. Now that I do know, I'm going to pass off this attempt at negotiating a trade agreement to you. On the pub that we're about to get advised to start with by Lysaran traffic control, there's a few people that look like they might be possibilities. They're going to turn up unhelpful. And don't try the blood wine. It's mediocre at best.
Okay.
But Mr. Venn seems to be the only one in that particular establishment capable of getting us what we need, though his prices are fairly high. We might start with him. My first time through with him, he made an offer which I told him was too high, and then he suspended negotiations while he attempted to find ways to lower his costs.
What was your personal approach to asking him to do work or do trade?
Fairly straightforward. I showed him what we needed. He told me what it cost. We talked variations on transportation of the issues, and whether or not he guaranteed delivery if we went with our own transporters, um, as opposed to our own shipping rather than his people. He guarantees delivery if he does the shipping.
I see. Were they all, when you talked, were they picked up from one central location, or were they?
He did not indicate. He said he could get everything but the heavy metals fairly soon. He indicated about a 6 month wait on the heavy duty materials or heavy duty metals, unless we were willing to overlook how he obtained them, which of course we're not.
Right.
He seems to be perfectly willing to work within Federation moral standards, but he also seems relatively willing to cross the line if we wanted to, which we do not. Um, so start with Mr. Venn. I would work to that negotiation. Maybe you're armed with more information than I was when I went down there, so perhaps you will have better luck than I did. Certainly don't take his first offer. His first offer is insanely high, at least very much on the high end of what to be expected. And then do some shopping around at some of the other trade establishments, see if you can find a better deal. Last time I took Mr. Azanon and Mr. Rye and Mr. Hale with me, I don't see any reason for you to take a different set of people with you unless you wish to.
I think prudent to have individuals present this time that were there the first time as well. So I see no reasons to alter the aware team assignments. But we'll try perhaps a slightly different approach to communicating with them, and I'll see what we can do.
Very good. And Commander Rye, since we are doing this for the second time, and we've already done things a little differently with Kuvaris appearing to us first on the bridge instead of the holodeck, I'd be interested to see if there are any temporal effects of sending Commander Cabal instead of me going myself on this trip. Keep an active scan while you're down there. See if there's anything to detect along those lines.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Commander Cabal, you have your report. Well, we're not there yet, so we wouldn't say that.
To move things along quicker, you enter into the Lysara system, and Lysara Station begins hailing.
On audio. That captain remembering was audio only last time.
This is Lysara Station. How may we be of service to you?
Star Station is Captain Perone of the USS Navajo. We are in the system seeking to establish a trade agreement with independent merchants to supply one of our new colonies. May we have permission to dock and begin negotiations?
Does your vessel require refueling, repairs, and/or other services?
Not at this time, no.
Very
But
well.
thank you for asking.
You may proceed to docking port 42.
42. Thank you, Lysara Control.
I recommend if for trade agreement, if you're looking for someone to trade with, the bar would be your best bet. Have a good day. Lysara
you.
Station out.
Mr. Grawl, take us in and dock us with the station. Dr. Caval, you have your orders.
Understood, Captain. I'll head down and see if we can positive trade relations.
All right, the Navajo once again docks at Lysara Station. As we are going, are you staying on the bridge, Captain, or are you heading to the holodeck?
I'm going to stay on the bridge for now.
Okay, we're gonna jump over to the holodeck. As Vogel enters the holodeck.
Right. Vogel is going to walk to this position.
It's. I'm sorry. Who are you again?
Excuse the intrusion. I'm Lieutenant Sarah Vogel.
Right.
I've been sent down by our captain to have to talk with you.
Oh, I see. Well, talk away. Be quick. I wish to be left alone.
This may seem like an odd question, but has anything strange happened down here within the last 6 hours?
No. Other than that,
You don't.
well, no, nothing has come up.
You don't remember speaking with me at all. You don't remember receiving a visit from someone named Cuvaris?
No, and if a Q did appear, God help this ship. Or whatever deity you pray to.
Well, I guess that leads me to the reason I'm here. Captain Perone has expressed some concerns about you. More specifically, about you seemingly monopolizing the holodeck.
No. Okay, 1 second. You're saying Q, a member of Q, has appeared.
That is correct.
Oh, should have known when I felt that tingle.
In the interest of full disclosure, there does seem to be a type of temporal disturbance happening.
It's none of my doing, if that's what you're asking.
I am not implying that at all. I simply bring that up because you and I have met before. We had a.
That's right. You were on that planet that I was imprisoned on. Well, I have to thank you for at least attempting to help me.
What I was referring to was over the last 6 hours, you and I have had numerous conversations. And a member from the Q Continuum, his name Cuvaris, did indeed also try to speak with you about joining the Continuum. You don't remember any of this?
I don't, but clearly you are very certain. Your Seki says so. So you believe these events to be true, so what am I to argue with it about? Other than I have not experienced it yet. Or haven't.
Several other members of our crew have also not experienced the, I don't know what we're calling it, the time loop, the time ripple. So I don't want it to seem like I am blaming you or saying you are the cause of it. We were merely curious, given your abilities, if you perhaps remember this the last 6 hours.
And you have your answer. If that's all, you can go now.
Unfortunately, I do have my orders to my original statement. Captain Perone is concerned about the amount of time you are spending in the holodeck.
Go on.
I mean, you are welcome, of course, to stay in the holodeck as long as possible, but we do have quarters and arrangements made for you. You don't need to spend all your time here.
This is so much nicer, though. It's a beautiful sun, ocean breeze.
I'm
It's
not
quite
arguing
nice.
that point at all. In fact, I might look up the name of the program and run it in some of my off time.
If you're worried about using all the power on the holodeck, I assure you I have granted it some of my power so it stays working in proper order.
I see. So I guess let me ask you a question then, Alunia. Now that you are free to do whatever you want, what do you want to do with yourself?
I prefer to just be alone for maybe a century or two. Enough to hide from the queue as long as I can. God knows they will probably just try to, well, the great creator of the universe, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure they'll try to imprison me again soon. For all I know is they'll just hold another trial. Things are a sham as it is.
From my understanding from my conversation with Cuvaris and with you, they did not seem like they were trying to imprison you again. In fact, quite the contrary.
And she just stops, looks behind you, goes, "Well, I was wondering when you would show up."
Well, I'm here, but everything that the lieutenant has mentioned is true. I'm not here to recapture you or imprison you.
We'll see about that. How about you get off this little boat? Don't you have some amoeba to offend somewhere?
They filed an injunction against me. I'm in the quantum court, court over it. So I can't go bother amoebas right now. Restraining order.
Well, a win for the amoeba.
Win for the amoeba.
Cuvaris, can I assume that you overheard our conversation just now?
Yes. Yes, you can. You willing to hear me out? He'll look at her. Lunia, are you willing to listen to what I have to offer?
No, I don't. You can go. Please leave. Skedaddle. And whatever shenanigans you have cooped up, you can leave them at rest.
I don't have any. I have no shenanigans. Not here, at least. Well, why don't I walk down the beach and let you continue talking with the lieutenant? I think you're going to find that she has some interesting stuff to say. And he'll back up a bit so that she doesn't feel threatened.
She kind of stands up. So wait, you two are in cahoots together?
No,
No,
I
no, no.
merely.
That's what you implied. That you wish let me listen to her so she tries to convince me of something that I may or may not that I don't really want to do. All I want is to be left alone. So now all you can do is just leave me alone as the area begins to shake.
Before you go down this road, pause it for a minute, okay? The only conversations I had with her, and you can sense her psyche on this, is that I let her know about the offer the Q Continuum was going to make you. And that is not an offer of imprisonment. That is not some trick to put you in a jail, but an entirely different offer. But I don't think you can hear it from me. So I think you
Allude, all the Captain Perone and myself is asking of you is just to hear him out. At the end of the day, it is ultimately your decision on what you do.
correct.
How about you just go and leave me be? That's what I want. Just go.
Well, if you hear the offer, you may be able to exercise that yourself. But I think you need to hear the offer first.
I don't
You know,
care what you're offering, Q Virus or whatever your name is. I don't care. I want to be left alone. So you can just go, skedaddle, as the
but
humans
this
say.
isn't alone. Lunia, this isn't alone here. You've saddled yourself into the USS Navajo. You are taking up their resources. You're far from alone. You know you can go to places you're truly alone. This is not one of them. You have the illusion of being alone, but you are on a starship.
Does it really matter? For one, I'm waiting for the captain to tell me what I owe him so we could be done with this little charade. So if you don't mind, I do want to be left alone. So please, leave.
You don't owe the captain anything.
I do, unfortunately, so I like to repay my debts.
Well, what is it you think you owed to the captain?
He saved my life, so I informed him that I can grant him anything he desires. He has not yet, well, informed me of said desires. So, if you don't mind, if you wish me to leave, then go talk to the captain and have him come down here and tell me what he wants, and then I'll leave. And then after that, I just want to be left alone. Especially from the Q.
I can certainly understand that. Our history was not pretty. But that is the past. What you're trying to sculpt is a future.
The future is my own, so just go.
Alunia, if being left alone is what you truly want, then that is what we can give you. But I don't think the captain. Yep, sorry. Car almost got me off. I don't think this is what the captain would want for you.
And then he can come down here himself and tell me.
Why don't we have this conversation on other turf, Alunia? I think we need to have a conversation about your past before we can have a conversation about your future. Lieutenant, I'm going to intervene here, but I think there might be a resolution at the end of this.
With this time anomaly, things are a bit complicated, Kuvaris.
Yeah, they are. But not as complicated as you might think.
Heary, heary. Now presiding Lord Kuvaris of the Q Continuum do hereby read off the final charges of the witch known as Alunia. A list of her crimes include as such as following: crimes against cosmic order, crimes of mass destruction, crimes against reality, crimes of deception and trickery and debauchery. How does the defendant plead? It's like, not, it's like, silence. Your lawyer will answer for you.
Cuvaris is the lawyer, or is the lieutenant the lawyer?
The lieutenant's the lawyer.
Both. Okay, I look over at her. You're the lawyer.
What do you mean I'm the lawyer?
It's your big chance, Galactic Court.
Qbars, what is this?
It's a Salem witch trial court. I thought it was appropriate.
This was your big idea? This?
Yeah, change the scenery.
You do know that they killed people in this, right?
Right now we're just replicating the court for purposes of presenting evidence. Don't worry about that stuff. He's got a glass of water with an egg in it. He's looking in a little bit and then quickly puts it away because that's a sign of witchcraft. You've got a defender.
Sorry, Mobile. How can I defend somebody?
Go ahead. Sorry.
What was that?
Continue.
How could I defend somebody when I don't even know or understand what the charges are?
Well, I'll be glad to read them off to you as representative of the colony of Salem. Fair enough?
You know, Qvars, I've read up on the Q. I've read up of the games that Q likes to play, especially on the Enterprise. Why do you insist on doing the same thing here? Do you really think this will be effective?
It certainly will be observed by other Q, and her responses will greatly enhance your defense. Right, Lieutenant? Sometimes you play the game. My goal is exactly as I said it to you. We're just changing the field on which it's being played.
So, let me just get this straight. The Q, in their infinite wisdom, feel that the best way to recruit someone new into their collective is to threaten them with death. Have I got this figured out?
Well, right now we're in court. Don't worry about anything like that. But we're certainly in court, and this is where truth comes out, right, Lieutenant? And I certainly think there's a great deal of power to that, no matter what the cinema may be.
Can you guarantee that this will be a fair court?
I will do my best. I do not wish to prosecute somebody who is not guilty or potentially changes the path of their life. Why don't I present the defense's evidence?
Aluni stands up and she attempts to use her powers, and she kind of stops. What have you done to me, Q?
Well, look, we're just here for the.
As the crowd erupts, which she attempted to strike the judge down.
I'll step forward as prosecutor. Judge, I would like to present the evidence against her and let us hear her responses.
Oh, you're both judge and prosecutor, just FYI.
Oh, Judge. Yes. Let us hear the crimes for which she was accused of in the past. And he looks over at all that rabble round. Silence, all of you, or I will hold you in contempt of court. There are shackles out in front for you. And then he steps forward. Let me go over everything that she's done. Interfering with the natural development of a pre-warp civilization. She once healed a small child of a rare disease. This was a generous and good thing. However, the child grew up to become a tyrannical conqueror, changing the entire planet's course of history, causing the death of millions and a world war. She gave fire to a primitive civilization centuries ahead of schedule, accelerating their advancement and causing ecological devastation and damage. During the war against the Q, Alunia ignited a series of neutron stars, causing the collapse of 12 inhabited systems. Time tampering. Alunia altered a timeline so a doomed colony would survive a solar flare, but inadvertently wiped out a future species that would have descended from the original survivors. Crimes of mass destruction, annihilation of an entire star systems. Um, let's see, I've covered that. I believe that she allegedly shaped an asteroid belt into her face out of boredom. I can't prove that one, Judge, but let's see. Crimes against individual beings, warping the lives of mortals on a whim. She once turned a mortal's lifespan into a time loop, forcing him to relive the most painful memories for decades. She erased the memories of a planetary council, creating political chaos just to see how they would rebuild. Playing games with mortality, she granted an immortality to a mortal being, but later revoked it mid-battle, dooming them. She revived a dead monarch to see how their return would influence politics, creating centuries of chaos, crimes of deception and trickery. She posed as a god on multiple worlds, creating entire religions around herself. She convinced an entire planet that she was their goddess, altering their entire culture. Reality bending hoaxes. She once created a false anomaly that convinced an entire species that they had discovered a wormhole, only to collapse it as a prank. I do believe she made an entire civilization believe they were living in a musical, causing years of spontaneous song and dance warfare. She's also illegal use of omnipotence without a permit, loitering in the space-time continuum, failing to register her cosmic license, jaywalking through temporal paradox, unauthorized construction of a rainbow bridge across the Bajoran wormhole, criminal misuse of irony.
How is that even a crime?
We can disregard those last ones, but you heard the major ones, Lieutenant. Those are respondable, something that she needs to think about if she is to ask for the freedom that she is claims she wants.
And you, Q-Virus, and any other Q listening, none of you can ever say that you've never done or attempted any of these things?
Would this not be true in your JAG Starfleet court? We know that humans have committed crimes themselves, but a court achieves to get to the truth and a fair outcome, correct? And I know I might be a crooked lawyer, but I'm fair.
With that, we're going to cut over on board the station. With Rai, Sazonin, I believe you had
It was Dr. Hale.
Hale. So whoever wishes to take over for Dr. Hale, but yes. You enter an establishment, there's a odd stench in the air. Soft, type music is played in the background, but you see a mist of traders, smugglers, and other compatriots in here.
Lieutenant Commander Tavir, the first time that you were here, did you find this Ven individual, Captain Wanders, to interact with him first?
Yeah. If you'll look over to the left-hand side, there's a booth with a Orion woman and the race I can't remember right now. Name male over in that booth.
That Valerian.
Um,
Okay, perfect.
What happened last time is as we approached, you'll have to wait for the Orion woman to be done before you can approach Finn. So we went to the bar. But over in that side, northern over here, is a crew that we ran into before, if you recall the Cardassian incident. One of the first ones. They're over there. So if we want to, we can go to the bar. We can approach them. We have to wait for the Orion woman to be done anyway. So.
Well, why don't you all go and chat with the other crew? I'll try my luck at looking not very patient with Mr. Ven over there.
Very well.
Hale looks confused. You were talking like we've done this before. Is that anything to do with the weird message you sent earlier, Commander?
It does, and I never got your response. Thank you.
I apologize, Commander. I was working with a patient. No, I don't remember any of this.
Fascinating. Okay, so it wasn't planet related. Interesting. To be fair, Commander, you did ask if people had, not if they hadn't.
Well, I sent it to everyone to say either yes or no. Did you experience deja vu time loop? I was trying to get a map of who did and who didn't, so we could try to determine where they were or weren't. But I guess it doesn't matter anymore.
The question caused quite a stir with a patient of mine who thinks he's been repeating days over and over again, but it's just an overactive imagination with that person.
All right, very well. Well, let's.
Dr. Hale, if you'll join me.
You've got the lists. See what prices you can get.
Caval, as you approach the Orion turns, he goes, "Wait your turn."
That's why I'm standing here. I wasn't planning on interrupting the conversation. Please, by all means, ignore me.
Just, As Rai, as you walk up to the other human merchants, the Tellarite looks at you like, look familiar. Captain,
You do it.
you're part of the Starfleet Navajo, right? Right.
Yeah, I'm the science officer on the Navajo.
I never forget a face. Captain, these are the fine lady rescued us.
Captain, good to see you all again.
Of course.
How are things been? We haven't had a chance to check in. Things have been interesting this side of the wormhole, but your crew recovering all right?
As well as they could be. We're here on just picking up cargo.
Funny, we're looking for cargo. You got any recommendations? We're trying to help outfit a planet that we're settling nearby.
Yes, Gemulon V.
Yes.
Um, well, if you're looking for someone, I guess, reputable, that would be Ven. The rest of these guys around here will probably give you a bad deal of bad equipment.
Can't have that.
Not exactly Starfleet regulation, no less.
Good to know. Thank you for the input. Anything strange going around here lately? Anything odd that we should be prepared for?
Other than your presence, no.
Yeah, we have a habit of sticking out.
Perhaps dress less conspicuous.
I'll ask the captain next time.
Just a recommendation.
Glad to see that y'all are recovering. Okay. If y'all need anything, you know where we are. And I'm going to point Dr. Hale to the bar.
I'll head on over there.
What can I get you? Mr. Frankie speaks up.
Got anything good?
That depends. Don't serve anything fruity here.
No, I wouldn't assume so.
I can't tell. Are you Vulcan or are you Betazoid? Got
Yes.
eyes like a Betazoid.
Yes.
Huh?
Both, darling. Both.
Oh. Apologies.
It happens all the time. I'm not exactly common. Can I get something vaguely colored in a glass with some ice, please?
And he bends over, like grabs a cup, does kind of quick wipe with the towel, sets it on the thing, puts some ice in there, and pours in, which kind of has a very dark texture to it. Enjoy. Oh, I don't run charity right here. That will be 5 strips.
5. You wound me, but I suppose. Since you asked nicely. And I'm not flirting, but I'm being nice. Just because I figure it'll bug him.
Assuming you pay him.
Yeah, I gave him 5 strips.
Thanks, Spencer. Then does your friend want something to drink?
Dr. Hale, do you have a particular fancy?
I think the captain was playing Dr. Hale.
Oh, I got confused. It looked like there were two of us playing him.
You're on, Captain.
Yeah, I'll take a I'll take a tequila, and actually I'll take a margarita. That'd be great.
Huh? I don't serve that stuff here. What do you think
Tequila?
this is? Federation space? Deep Space
get it.
Nine? Yeah.
Whiskey?
Oh, no, they don't have whiskey.
I got something close to that.
Good beer?
Grabs a bottle out, sets it on the ground, and that'll be 3 strips.
All right. It better be worth 3 strips.
You wish.
He'll hand over his beaker strips. And then he'll look at Ryan and say, "How'd you know he didn't have whiskey?"
I'll tell you later. And she'll just smile up at him.
Okay. Hey, there's Klingons over there. I'm surprised that the captain. I bet if the captain knew they were here, he'd have come down. He likes Klingons, I think.
Yes, unfortunately the bloodline's subpar apparently, but yeah, he probably would have, but I don't know if they'd trade anything with us. Unless we need blood wine. Now, we didn't talk to the Orions yet, or the Nassicans, but I'm not sure that would be the wisest move either.
Well, I mean,
I've got ice cream.
maybe the Orions at least would give a counter offer, see what they offer. Maybe they'll low bid us, and that'll give the commander something to work with.
Yeah, but then we have to worry about sourcing it. I'm not sure if we could verify anything the Orions brought.
Right. Hey, does that guy look like he's about to fall off his stool to you?
Yeah, I think one of us should go make sure he doesn't fall over.
Yeah, I'll be right back. Excuse me, sir. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Another one, barkeep.
Oh, you sure? Maybe you look like maybe you've had enough.
No. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you're having a mighty good time by yourself here. You sure everything's all right? I'm told I'm an excellent listener. If you need to talk.
I don't know, man. She doesn't want anything to do with me.
Oh, Wife?
Girl, like, come on, you've been in love, right? And she dumped me. She didn't even. She said it in a text message over subspace. Didn't have a
Oh.
decency to do a video call.
Oh, subspace breakup. That's rough. That must have hurt, huh?
I thought she was the one, man.
Well, I mean, isn't it better to find out now this way that she's not the one rather than, I don't know, 5 years from now when there's a couple of babies involved and a wedding contract?
Uh, you may want to move. I might puke on you, man. You're too nice.
Plus, think of it this way. Now you got an idea of maybe what you want. Now you can focus your search for a mate, find someone even better.
You're right. As soon as the world stops spinning, and I'll find. Maybe I'll find the right one. Maybe. And he just kind of like stands up and spins and falls to the floor.
Hell, try to catch him, at least let him down easy.
Give me fitness. Con difficulty of 2.
Well, I'll tell you, since we have so much, I'll spend a momentum for an extra die.
Oh, I saved that guy a headache on top of his hangover. That's sweet. And this is where you roll a 1?
And you manage to get your momentum back, and you manage to catch him.
Hey, question: since the counseling services are essentially part of medical, is it possible that Hale has a hypo on him or a med kit?
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah. Are you wishing to
Since
give
he's the
him?
closest thing to medical on this away team, Hale will be nice to the guy and give him a shot of Triox so he doesn't have a horrible headache when he wakes up.
He just sounds like, thank you, but you took all the fun out of this. He just starts stumbling.
Hale just kind of shake his head and look at Azanon like, the hangover is the fun part?
Excuse me, it was, names. Car, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The guy who was at the bar, one of your crewmates, he is currently stumbling outside. I'm not sure how safe it is, because he's pretty toasted. Just letting you know that if you lose a crew member, it's him, and he's gone that way.
Oh, it must be because his girlfriend back on Earth dumped him.
Ooh, rough. Video call?
Text.
Oh, that's dirty.
This is a message. She said she met some Italian folk.
Oh, poor kid. Anyway, just wanted to make sure you knew that he's not gone or taken. He walked out that way.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go look after him when he gets up. Excuse me. Yeah, poor Max. Yeah. He'll get over
Yeah,
it.
unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, it always sucks though. Breakups. They always hurt the most.
Yeah. Especially since she said she was, leaving on that guy's yacht.
Ooh. I don't know. It's people like that, you know? I can't understand it. Oh, what was that human phrase? Platinum digger? No. What they used to call it. Oh, Earth phrases.
I'm still trying to understand y'all, you humans. Well, present company excluded.
Not one, so definitely none taken. And I pull my hair back over the ears.
We're gonna hop towards the bottom area where Kival's at. As
Radical.
you're
Could I
saying
have?
that-
Oh, sorry. Could I have spent 2 momentum to gain a trait ahead of time? That I itemized all of the list of the things that we're trying to get, cross-referenced it with the standard market price, and then have them all as like what the average price is for the sector of space that we're in.
Yeah.
Copy. Good. I will give you 2 momentum for that. Beautiful. All right, let's continue.
As you sitting there waiting and Orion's just standing there, you notice they're kind of the Orion woman and Vin are sort of whispering each other. She kind of gives him a slight kiss on the cheek, smiles, stands up, and proceeds to exit as the grumpy Orion brute looks at you and goes, "Stand aside, Endorian."
Anything for a friend.
Just no,
And
no.
I'll step aside.
As they walk past you.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll walk through the guards and go and sit down next to this guy.
As you approach the guards, they stop you. State your business.
I have a business proposition, Mr. Venn.
He kind of looks at you for a second and then motions, and they allow you to pass. As you approach in, he grabs something like small out of a little jar, places it in his mouth, and then grabs his pipe, and then does a little number on the piece of tin to knock out the ash, and then sticks it in his mouth. So, what can I do for a Starfleet commander?
Yes, very good to meet you. I'm Commander Caval of the USS Navajo. We're doing some supply runs sector. We've heard through the grapevine that you are one of the most splendorous and best of the traders in this sector. I'd like to try to set up a trade with you. I've got here the market reports of all of the products that we're looking for. We're willing to purchase it for the market average plus 8% for your services. It is good, simple work, not trouble you very much, and if you get us the goods quickly and well, there will be much consistent work in the future. We'll inform Starfleet of your great assistance for our mission. I'm sure that you will get more contacts moving forwards. And I'll slide them over the list, the market prices. And...
Well, I've seen you've done your homework, Commander. Unfortunately, market prices here are different than from where you're aware at your region of space.
I believe that market prices that I have showed to you are ones of the local space sector, taking into account their different shipping lanes and whatnot.
Well, some of these items on the list, including the ones that are more your heavy duty metals, the uranium, tertinium, and dornites are, well, quite in high demand. Unfortunately, creates, well, higher prices. Most of the stores for these metals were eaten up by the Cardassians lately. The best I could do on these market prices that you're listing here is, well, 6 months. If you want them sooner, well, you'll have to pay extra for that.
It's going to take 6 months to get any of the supplies, or
6 months to get them, and then depending on where I can acquire them from, there could be up to 3 months. Better hope that you can wait a year for some of this equipment, if you wish to do this price.
Waiting a year would not be a positive way to get supplies now, would it?
If you were in a hurry, no, it would not. But I do know some potential merchants that I might be able to acquire these items from. I guarantee you they are going to want an upcharge. And I do not do business for free.
Do you have a price in mind then?
200 bricks. Gold plus platinum. I'll be able to get everything on this list within 3 months for you. Delivered.
And I'm assuming that's probably very high.
Yes, that's high.
Great. Yes, well, that's an interesting price, and I'm very sure that it is extremely fair. Your reports have done my research on you, of course. It shows that you have very positive contacts, and that you have great repute in your spheres of influence. But I'm sure you understand that, well, you're not the only trader around. We can always look around and find other individuals. Would you be willing to sell any of your contacts so that I can take my vessel and get it from the individual?
No, I am not willing to sell my contacts. If I sold my contacts to any would-be buyer, I would be out of business.
Well, it's been really great talking to you, but of course we'll be looking around for other individuals aboard the station that could potentially sell us what we are looking for.
Not in the time frame you're looking for.
That's all right. I'm sure that we can go and look into it yourself. If you're, trying to be the only one, seems a little strong army. Wouldn't you agree? There's always other individuals. You're not the only individual, the only salesman here. So we'll at least go and talk to other folks first, but greatly appreciate your time.
As you wish. Good luck on your endeavor, Commander of the Navajo.
Cool.
The floor is yours. So,
Yeah, I mean, we just need to talk to other people. I don't know if everybody that sells stuff is in the bar, or it's a big station, right? So it's a free market. So I'm sure, other people that do trade work on the station. Let's go. I'll go ask this bartender guy. He probably knows people.
I believe Azona was talking to the bartender for a brief. I assure you, this is the finest drink we have here. It is 5 slips of platinum. I will not go down on the price.
I'm not suggesting you go down on the price. I'm not looking for the finest drink you have here. I'm merely looking for some Aldebaran whiskey.
I don't sell that here. I'm out. I'm sorry. But this is the best I can offer you for this at this time. That, or you could go somewhere
right, then.
else.
No, that's not what I was looking for. I'll take it. Just not my preferred drink, that's all.
All right. And he pours you a glass. Do you pay him?
Of course I pay him.
Okay. Enjoy.
And then Azonin is just trying to... He's probably going to sit down at this table and fake drinking. He's looking like he's there as a customer, but basically just blending in and surveilling the other members of the away team for if they get into trouble.
Are you his friend? As he looks to Gaval.
Yes. I'm looking to be your friend as well. I need information. You're a bartender. You know people around here. Is that correct?
Yeah, he kind of leans in. That depends on what you're looking for.
I have a list of supplies need for a mission, and I'm looking for individuals that may be able to get these supplies for us. The friend Ven over there, his prices are very high. I'd like to shop around, look for other individuals that may have better prices before we go with the highest amount.
Well, I know I know some people. Let's see. $50 slips. And I can give you a list.
$50 slips for a list of names.
Well, you want names, you want information. It doesn't come cheap. And I got a reputation to uphold.
It would be a positive reputation if you make a great sale with a Federation vessel.
Look, I hate to break it to you, Starfleet, but no one wants you around here. We've heard about that colony you're putting up, and not too many people are happy about it. You catch my drift?
That's unfortunate, but at least in the short term, the individuals that we do business with will be very happy because they will be getting currency for the work that we are providing them.
Why aren't people happy with the colony?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I was about to ask that next part as well.
Look around you. What do you see? A bunch of traitors, mercenaries, killers, pirates. You think they want Starfleet operating on their back door and on their turf? Next thing I know, I'm going to be selling root beer in this joint.
Root beer wouldn't be really appropriate drink for a bar.
It's gross. It's bubbly. I don't know how you humans can stand it.
I don't know how you Ferengis don't like tequila. I mean, it's even got a worm in it.
Listen, the easiest way to get Starfleet to get away, look in other directions, is to assist us in doing what we need to do quickly so that we can be on our way. Our ship is very busy. The sooner that we get the information that we require, make the trade, the sooner we will be away from your station, can go back to doing whatever it is that you wish to do. We are a very busy vessel, and we would much rather be spending our time not here. You could assist us in expediting our process, then everyone will can go back to their days very easily.
Oh, he makes an excellent point. I mean, the sooner the colony is self-sufficient, the sooner they don't need the Federation or particularly Starfleet assistance. The sooner, like you said, we go away. That was a great point, Commander.
And really, if you think about it, good friend, I mean, we're on the same side as you are. I've always been a fan of independent stations such as this.
Alright, look. I got a friend. Well, a cousin. He might be willing to work with you. But he ain't
That would be
cheap.
great. Could he, you have any ideas? Can I get in touch with this individual? I'd love to talk with about his rates, timelines, for interactions.
Yeah, he's at the end of the bar, alright? Just, save the letting them talk for later. Trust me on it.
Thank you. I'll buy a round for the bar, and I'll slip him currency so he can buy everybody drinks.
Yeah, well, that's one way to make friends. Listen up, everyone. Starfleet here is buying everyone around. But you better come and get it while you can. And you see everyone kind of looked for a second, and then they stopped and they go back to their drink. Worth a shot.
All right. I'll go this Ferengi guy. We'll go to Ferengi Dose.
what do you want? Human. Or no, sorry. Dorian.
Uh,
Yeah.
Try again. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. All you Federation people look the same to me.
That's a fascinating and wildly incorrect statement, but that's okay. What's your name? Your cousin there said that you're a trader of good renown.
Grax the name. Nice to meet you.
Garak, pleasure. I'm Commander Caval.
Is this business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Show him the list of supplies.
Hmm. How about we talk more private up here?
All right.
Hmm. And how long do you want when you want these supplies?
Well, as I was telling your cousin, we'd love to do it as quickly as possible. We don't want to have to spend too much time in this sector. I'm sure that you would like to get us out of your hair as quickly as possible. Ideally, less than 3 months.
3 months. Oh man. Hmm. Therium and the tritium. Oh, that's gonna be hard to come by.
We're happy to pick up from locations if we have to. Vessel quick, and we're able to do some of the transport or transit if it will assist.
Well, best I could do in the short term, even if you pick up the tab of picking up at a location, 210 bricks of latinum.
And what would be the timeline for all of these goods delivered?
I can get you in about a month and a half. This stuff.
That is not entirely, but you're a businessman, I'm sure.
I'll tell you what. You think about it, Commander, and get back to me. You know where to find me.
Of course. And are you firm on that number? Is there some wiggling to be done?
And what are you thinking?
Well, I think with our vessel being able to do some of the pickup, the positivity of doing good work with a Federation vessel, I can look into any of your Starfleet dealings, give you good recommendations for any other trade work that you might do in this sector, which could be plentiful if we are to have a
Look, Commander, I want to be honest here with you. Dealing with
I love
Starfleet is kind of a risk. Your people don't exactly, let's say, value money like we do. Sooner or later, you'll come around that the whole utopia thing isn't all what it cracks up to be.
that may be so, but that doesn't change the fact that when we pay for things, our money is good, and we don't leave you high and dry. We're not going to backstab you, double cross you, any of the trade interactions you might get on the free market.
Exactly. Well, that's the fun of doing business, Commander. Look, come back with me with the price. We'll see if we can negotiate. But my offer is 210.
210 for a month and a half delivery time, correct?
Correct. And you do the quarter path. We'll deliver to this station.
What is the quarter path? What does that mean in
Meaning you do
relation to the
you
game?
do sort of like the last leg of the transport.
Right, but like, is it a large chunk of space? Like, what doing here?
It's like 10 light years.
Oh, that's not too bad. So it'd be from the
From
final
this-
pickup point and then take it to the colony.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so 210 for a month and a half. And a half. 10 light years of transport. And his name was, what was it? Graham?
Grack.
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 Or it was 200 strips from Ven, or whatever. But that was like 6 months
3 months.
to a year. 3 months. Okay.
Like if you wanted to do like the price you asked for, you were looking at a year to get everything at those market prices.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, well that's option 2. Did any of you guys want to like ask the Orions while I was guy? Or wait, you guys could do something. Sorry.
My question is, how much longer you guys wish to go? Because we're normally at our normal stopping point.
Well,
Yeah.
and Rye said she had to go.
Yeah, I gotta go. Little man's past his bedtime, and he's starting to get cranky.
What we
Yeah, I got to roll too, so I'm absolutely game for that.
Valid. Yep.
But I'm just the guest player, so I get a half vote.
Well, why don't we call it here and maybe start the next session with Caval making his report to the captain.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for letting me guest star. I will see you guys
so-
next time.
I'm going to. Caval, as you get ready to leave, I'm sure everyone's kind of gathering up together.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you guys do a little small role play here before I change the scene out for you guys. Unless you're just gonna tell them like, oh yeah, we're heading back to the ship.
Well, Commander, did you find a better deal?
A quicker one where it's more legwork on our side and for around the same amount of currency, but nothing that is much more favorable, unfortunately.
Why the differences in the time?
I'm assuming that they're getting it from a different location. He didn't share any of the information yet. Till we haven't made any contracts, so he just gave me the long and shorts of it, basically. And at least Ven sounded like there was not any negotiation to be had. There was at least Grack sounded like there was at least a little bit, depending on the price that we could submit to him. But they're all, I mean, we're on a station of sharks, essentially, all fighting for all the chum in the water.
Yeah, but it seemed like Ven had some. I'm sorry. Seemed like Ven could guarantee a little bit more than Grack. I mean, guaranteed delivery, guaranteed quality. I mean, I'd pay a little extra for that. It means our car. 3 months isn't a bad start for a colony. I'd rather guarantee that than shop around.
And she might have a point, Commander. I mean, getting it quick might not be good if it's illegal goods or substandard goods. You know the reputation the Ferengi have.
Oh, yes, I agree. I think best quality at the best rates for the best possible delivery time is ideal. Strange that Starfleet would have us attempt to make it at a location that's much more problematic than standard location.
Yeah,
On this side of the wormhole, it's going to be different than Alpha or Beta Quadrant, that's for sure. New area, got to learn to adapt.
out of character. Aren't we in the Alpha Beta Quadrant?
I thought so as well. I was lost.
Oh, I thought we were on the other side of the wormhole. Is my brain backwards?
You're in the essentially the Alpha Quadrant.
Okay.
Yeah, you're.
I don't know why I thought we were on the other side.
No, you're in between a sector space that's between Breen, Cardassian, and Federation space, and Ferengi space.
Got it.
Maybe we go with this Ven guy. At least until we get a chance to see for you to check the quality of their goods.
Yeah, with either of them, I would try to request at least a guarantee of quality of service. I believe that Van is probably the one that can guarantee quality better.
Right. I mean, for what you've told us, it sounds like he's got a reputation to protect. That maybe he would deliver just to protect his reputation. I mean, Ferengi, no one trusts him anyway, so it's not like they got anything to lose.
That wouldn't be the first time they almost rammed us over.
Agreed. I was hoping we could find a more reasonable rate, but when in Rome.
At least we have a possible courier aid. I know when we talked to the captain over on that we talked to before, they at least a good contact in the area, so we have that.
I think it's good. We should be attempting to create a list of reputable contacts in the area. If we're going to have some sort of extended mission out here, it will be favorable to know as much of the local individuals as possible.
So what are you going to recommend to the captain, sir?
No, I think Van is unfortunately our best bet. While 200 is rather expensive for what the goods are and the transport time, it's not the worst, and perhaps we can come to some arrangement that might lower that price some, but
yeah, man, we should have asked the captain what our budget was for this.
As
that's
you
kind of right.
Yeah. So as you are sitting there talking, the station begins to shake rather violently.
What the?
And suddenly, you are back on board the bridge of the Navajo.
There is just a stream of, you assume, Betazoid curse words coming out of Rye.
Do I remember the time loop?
I'll get to that in a minute. As the doors open, Captain, can I have a moment of your time? She kind of stops herself for a second. It's about Alunia being in holodeck 2.
Does the captain remember the second trip through?
Yes.
Him just kind of looks at the ground for a minute. Again? Sure thing, Lieutenant. Do we need to have this conversation in private, or can we do it here?
Private. I'm sorry. Have I had talked to you about this before?
What do you think you remember, Lieutenant?
It feels familiar.
Yes, we've had this conversation twice already.
Oh,
Except the first two times, Lieutenant Vogel was on the bridge instead of Lieutenant Garral. The captain's going to hit his comm badge. That's Captain Perone to Lieutenant Vogel.
get no response.
Computer, locate Lieutenant Vogel.
Lieutenant Vogel is not on board the ship.
Okay, that's new. Gonna look around the bridge, noticing Commander Cabal is not there. Captain,
And with that, we will bring the session to a
Uh-oh.
close.